Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Lords of Empyre Swordsman. This just didn't do it for me. It's as simple as that. I was really hoping this was going to explain some stuff, and for the bulk of the comic book, it felt like they were leading to that explanation. And then, first let's get into who made the comic book. Okay, so writer Alex Paknadel. Hope I'm not butchering any names here too badly. Artist Thomas Nachlik. Colors Marcio Menez and VC's Ariana Maher on letters. Rod Rice doing the cover. There's a variant cover. Carlos Lau doing the graphic design. Okay. So this goes back to the swordsman, the elder Kotati, trying to get into the grove. He's trying to merge with them, but he's not allowed to. They keep on saying, no merging for you. Bugger off, butthead. Like, it's sad, because it's almost like, basically they explain. I'm going to tell you what it's almost like in a moment. He explains it, that it's like, I've tried to get in with these guys, and I've always been in with these guys, but I had to make a sacrifice by leaving my actual body, that tree, and then becoming, well, merging with the dead body of this failed Avenger. He calls him that, and I thought that was pretty interesting, because he kind of was. Like, no lies were spoken there. So he's just like, I need to get back there, and I know that I made a... Well, it doesn't go in as much detail as I want. I'd like him to say, I know I made a sacrifice, but some sacrifices don't feel worth it. I mean, I was with you, son. Like, I made you, and I brought you. You're the celestial messiah. Like, you're going to lead all of us to greatness. So, I mean, I guess it was worth it, but it just doesn't... Like, it's still a sacrifice, and I just want to go back home. So that's what essentially was there, but I just added so much to that wasn't explained in the comic book. And it should have been. What else should have been explained in the comic book was what happened in between that massacre towards the end and then them going to Temel. Because it's literally a blink or you miss it. It's one panel that lets you know that they went to a different planet, the homeworld of the Kotati. Like, what the frig, man? And then, whatever happened in that trip, I don't know how long it's taken, because, I'm looking at the Captain Marvel tie-in for Avenger right now, and I mean, she's traveled back and forth between this one planet and visiting the, Emperor Doran the Eighth and all that. And it's like, Hulkling. It's like she's traveling around back and forth so many times. And Mantis and issue 3 traveled like that, it seems, all the way to Earth. And it's like, space travel doesn't mean anything anymore, It's not a big deal like in Dune or something. It's just, oh yeah, I need to get over there. So, boop, I'm there. Next page. You turn the page, right? Or you looked at the new panel, right? There you go. We're done. We did that. So, I don't know how long it took, but somehow, something that happened, like, what's the next Lord of Empire going to be? The ship? Like, can I be a fly on the wall for what happened in the ship? What was said? What was done? Because Sequoia, the Celestial Madonna the Celestial Messiah was like, relax, Dad, relax. Oh, you're going to go back to becoming a plant again. Okay, cool, but I'm going to leave. I'm not going to watch you do it. Love you anyway, bye. And then he comes back anyway for some, but then like there's the killings and the slash and burn, no burning, just slashing. It's like, but he comes out, but he was okay. And it's like, oh, God, it's like, the muti's back. Rawr. And I like how they were blaming things on mutants, because I think that more comics should do that, so we really get the idea of that racism towards mutants. It's one of those things that may not help your story as much as you'd like it to, but damn, it's going to do a lot for some of the other comic books out there, anything that actually involves mutants. It's going to remind us always that they're the ones. They're roughing it, and you build up another comic book. Maybe they build you back too. Who knows? I mean, Jesus, not like I get anything for doing these videos. You know what I'm saying? So somehow Koi just changed, and it was in that ship ride. So I was really hoping to get some answers, and while I got some, I guess none of them were actually relevant. How did Koi go from being a peacenik to a brutal butcher like this? I'm sorry, because if it was supposed to be explained, these trees were older than any of their civilizations, and yet they destroyed it without a second thought. Is that all it took? That's all it took? I mean, sure, it's a massacre for you. Like, if I don't know, if there's some village in Italy, you know, like if back, you know, my home village, Coleone. Yes, my family's actually from Coleone. Gives you a good impression of what my last name is. No, it's not freaking Coleone. What do you call it? Like if an entire village of mine was massacred, I'd be pretty pissed. But I'd be pissed enough to go after these people, not all people. If I found out that, you know, I don't know, freaking the French went after them, I mean, I'd go after the group that did it, but I wouldn't go after every French person. And I mean, I'm not even a peacenik like Coy. So if that was supposed to explain, if that was supposed to be the big reveal where it's like, you know, oh, that's what it was. Oh my God, no wonder. Sorry, fail on every single level. So all I can do is move to the next phase and say it must have been something that was said in that ship. I still don't feel that anything that's happened so far, and this book has actually gone and done worse than that. Look, it's good, it's amazing art. Holy crap, the art in here is as perfect as you could ever expect any comic book to be. You know, it's like above and beyond. It's so good. The colors on here, fantastic. They really express everything. Look at this. Like the little bit of blue there. It shows you so all of this. It shows you something. It's genuinely, the art by itself is telling a story. The writing is good. I don't have any problem with any of the dialogue. There was like one word that was missing, but we just blame Ariana for that. I'm not here to blame anybody for anything. What I am here to say, though, is that I've already been having a hard time, just a hard time this month, all right? But a hard time, you know, trying to get into this Empyre event also. And when I read this, it's a Lord of Empyre, I'm genuinely expecting this to be something that is going to help me to understand better. I might as well have not even bothered to read this comic book. There were some really good parts in here, but as far as an explanation, a valid explanation for this ultimate peace group, a group that makes the Janus look like freaking wartime criminals practically. I mean, like, these guys, the Kotati, are the epitome of peace. And yet somehow they turned around. They're like, we're going to destroy all life. We're going to get revenge against the Skrulls. I don't know what the Skrulls did to them. I don't know what the Skrulls did to them. But we're going to get a revenge against them anyway. And we're going to get revenge against the Kree. That I understand. Not for the Kotati, but I understand. They messed with them, right? And they want to get revenge against the humans. Seems like a bit much. It seems like a bit much. So I still don't have the explanation. And more than that, I'm actually annoyed. I'm actually frustrated at this point that I wasn't given an explanation in this book. Maybe I shouldn't have expected one, but I did. So that's where I'm at right now with these books. This Empyre event is turning into nothing but a disappointment. And I'm telling you, the first 2/3 of this book, I was really thinking, because the way it was going, I'm like, this is going to change my mind about this event. And no, it only reinforced with a vengeance, a Coy-like vengeance, of how much I really just dislike this event. This isn't good. This just is not good storytelling, and it simply should not have happened. And this book is just proving it even more. I feel like they're not going to be able to prove an essential part of the story. Why did the Kotati become bloodthirsty? It just so. What's left? What's left? This is an absolute fail of an event thus far. We're almost done with it. And this book should have done something. Maybe the book couldn't have done anything because the event was written. And it's like, hey, you want to do, like, I don't know. You know what they told Pac-Nadel? I don't know what they told him. Hey, you want to write this book? Just basically do a little fluff here and there. If that was the case, the guy's just looking for a job. You know, I don't know. But just as a whole, Ewing and Slott, This event is just such a failure. We should have a solid reason by now, and we don't. We don't. I'm done. I'm so done. I just want this event to be done with so that we can all just hate it and forget about it at some point. I know a lot of you guys are having fun with it, but honestly, if that's the case, can I just draw a whole bunch of people fighting each other and call it an event and say, yay? Because that's pretty much what we have here. The motive on this, if you actually read all of those original stories, from 1971, 1973, and on, the Kree-Skrull War, the Katati wouldn't do this. This is never something that the guys back then, the people who did these comic books back then, would have ever been okay with. And a lot of them are alive today, so you can ask them. They wouldn't have ever done something like this. So this is just, the whole thing is just booty. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Like the video, watch an ad. Talk to you later. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.